Okay, so let's go to the PowerPoint. Okay, so okay, so let's go to the okay, today I'm going to talk about the impacts of tectonic hazards. So hazards means a disaster. So what disasters will be faced by residents during the disaster zone? Okay, so here. So what are the impacts of the earthquake? Okay, so the impacts can be divided into immediate effects, that means primary effects. And then we have long-term effects, secondary effects. So what are the immediate effects? Okay, first of all, casualties. The casualties means people being killed or injured. 人命傷亡, okay? People may be killed or injured during the earthquake. So here, earthquakes can cause huge casualties because of the collapse of buildings, and many people are buried under the rubble, and they may lose their lives. So this is the injured people in the Pakistan earthquake. So casualties. And then the destruction of property. You see the collapse of buildings. Buildings have been reduced to rubble. Okay, so many people may be buried under the rubble, and it may take time to rescue the people under the rubble. Okay, so that's why the collapse of buildings is one of the major causes why so many people died in an earthquake. 點解咁多人死喺地震？因為啲大廈冧啦。OK， 記住啦。OK，destruction of property. Remember, destruction of property. So building collapse due to intense shaking of the ground. Okay, intense shaking of the ground, so buildings collapse. So people may become homeless. Okay, the secondary effect: people lose their homes, so they may become homeless. No home to live. 無家可歸啦. So interruption of communication and transportation systems. So here, because the telephone lines are damaged in the earthquake, so there may be interruption of telephone, internet, and television broadcasting service because the networks have been damaged. The transportation networks will be damaged as well. For example, railways and roads may be disrupted. Okay, may be disrupted by earthquakes, and this will make rescue more difficult because rescue workers may not be able to arrive at the disaster area, give assistance because it is inconvenient for them to go to the disaster area through railways and roads. Yeah, for example, this is the bridges in the prefecture in Japan, and then the bridges collapsed after an earthquake, and rescue workers were not able to go to the Ibaraki prefecture to give assistance to victims. So they have to travel by a plane, but it takes time, and it is difficult to transport large quantities of medical supplies or other supplies to the disaster area by air. And it is easier to deliver large quantities of supplies to the disaster area through roads or railways. And then, yeah, so these are the lifelines for transporting relief aid to the earthquake zone. So relief aid such as medicine, temporary houses, food, or clothes to keep warm. And the relief aid has the relief aid is in large quantities, and it's easier to transport the relief aid to the disaster areas through roads and railways rather than by air. So the key term is transporting relief aid， 運送啲救援物資啊 ，transporting relief aid， 運送啲救援物資去啲受災嘅地區啦。And then multiple secondary hazards. So what are they? So secondary hazards may be triggered by an earthquake or aftershock 餘震啊 aftershock and cause further damage. Landslides, remember secondary hazards, landslides, one example. Why do landslides happen? The violent shaking of the ground, 地點震動 causes loose soil debris to move down slopes. So 呢啲泥土就散咗，咪流落去咯。Okay, causes loose soil debris to move down slopes. So violent shaking. And then the slip materials may form a landslide dam. Okay, which holds water behind. But this dam is not stable. It's weak. So if the landslide dam breaks down, the water behind will flush to the area below, and it will cause flooding. 即係話嗰啲咧，你冧山泥啦，冧山泥咧，即係你地震冧山泥，咁冧山泥呢啲山泥咧就會形成一個臨時性嘅水壩，但係呢啲水壩好弱嘅，當個水壩爛咗咧，佢啲水就一湧而下，就會造成泛濫啦。Okay, so landslide dam and then flooding. Okay, so here. This is a photo of the landslide dam in China. Yeah, so large-scale landslides cause a massive amount of solid debris, okay, soil, okay, to move down slopes. And sediments, I mean the soil and rocks may block the river. As a result, a landslide dam was formed. 臨時水壩啦 ，okay, a landslide dam. And then water levels increased after the earthquake behind the landslide dam. Okay, flooding. So huge volumes from the broken dams, mainly the sometimes the landslide dams or reservoirs, 水塘同埋水壩. And it will cause flooding in downstream areas. Downstream 下游啊 downstream areas within a very short time. And another negative impact caused by an earthquake is tsunami. Tsunami, 海嘯 tsunami. So the tremors. That means the vibration under the sea may trigger a tsunami. 海底嘅震動引起海嘯。That means tremors means 震動, okay? May trigger a tsunami. So here, and then another effect of an earthquake is fire. Fire. So fire may happen as a result of gas leakage from broken gas pipes, okay, or power line failure, electrical system failure, okay. So 煤氣爆炸啊，啲燃氣管道漏氣咪爆咯 ，okay. So gas leakage, 漏氣 gas leakage from broken gas pipes, okay, or from power system failure. So for example, you see in Haiti, okay, because the gas pipes were broken, the gases were released, and soon fire broke out in the capital city of Haiti. Okay, so that's why fire is a serious secondary disaster caused by an earthquake. And then soil liquefaction. So what is soil liquefaction? Here, liquid, okay, means water, liquid, liquid, water. That means soil is saturated with water after a tsunami or after an earthquake. And then when the soil is saturated with water, the foundation of buildings is weakened, and so buildings collapse. 即係話，當你啲水咧 ，OK 嗱 ，the pressure of groundwater increases during an earthquake， 啲地下水會湧上嚟 ，OK groundwater increases， and then soil liquefaction may occur. So goes saturated with groundwater. The soil is weakened, okay? The soil structure is weakened. 啲土壤弱咗。As a result, building may lose support and collapse. I mean, the foundation of buildings is weakened, and so buildings collapse. You see, okay? Because the foundation, you see, this is the foundation of the building. The foundation is rooted, it's deep into the soil, but because of the soil liquefaction, the foundation is weakened, and so buildings collapse. Okay. Any question about this? 有冇問題啊? Any question about any questions? Yeah, it's mud. Yeah, mud. You can say the mud. The mud has formed landslide dam. Okay. And then the dam blocks the water, blocks the river, the water accumulates behind the landslide dam. Okay, and then the building, or the mud below the building is weakened. Okay, so there are many causes. So the landslide can, an earthquake can cause many natural disasters. So let's go back to the PowerPoint slide. Okay, here. Okay, how about the long-term effects? It can cause the spread of diseases. Okay, so after an earthquake strikes a place, many animals and humans die. And then dead humans, we call it corpses, 屍體 corpses, okay, will cause the spread of diseases. Okay, and then after an earthquake, the water supply system and sewage system, the water supply system and the sewage treatment system are broken. And so the city is filled with dirty water. This water pond is full of dirty water, okay? So it can breed diseases, okay? Mosquitoes will breed in the pond, and then mosquitoes can spread different kinds of diseases, okay? So lack of clean water, and it favors the spreading of diseases such as cholera. What is cholera? Means you have a poor stomach, okay? Cholera causes illnesses in your stomach, okay? and you need to I mean, cholera can cause death within a few days. Okay， 因為你有霍亂咧，你屙到嘔㗎。Okay, cholera. Okay, so and then it can cause further casualties and suffering. So in Haiti, the water system, the water supply system, and the water sewage system is damaged. So there was no clean water. As a result, cholera spread, and many people died of this disease after the earthquake. Yeah. Also, an earthquake can cause economic losses. Okay, and the long-term economic losses are serious. This is because the reconstruction costs are high. And the high reconstruction costs make it difficult for poor countries to recover from an earthquake. 嗱，由於重建成本好高啊，所以一啲窮國咧，基本上俾一啲地震破壞過一啲之後咧，佢哋好難去復原㗎，因為冇錢去重建啦。The reconstruction costs are very high, and many poor countries cannot afford reconstruction costs. As a result, the facilities remain damaged, and then people's lives cannot be improved after an earthquake because the infrastructure is damaged. And then economic activities are severely disrupted. For example, if the transport facilities are destroyed, goods cannot be delivered to the affected areas. Also, people or businessmen cannot travel to the affected areas. As a result, people are not willing to do businesses in disaster hit areas. Okay, so this would disrupt economic activities. And then this will lead to permanent loss of natural and cultural heritage. Okay. Okay, so some natural and cultural heritage destroyed in earthquakes may not be restored. Of course, the government can reconstruct buildings, but the new buildings may have lost the features of old buildings, okay? But historical significance of heritage structures cannot be recovered. The historical significance means the historical value of a building, 歷史價值. Although the government can reconstruct historic structures, people will believe that the historical value of that building will be lost forever. Okay, so the reconstruction cannot recover the historical significance of buildings. Okay. 即係話，如果一啲好舊嘅歷史建築爛鬼咗，跟住你起翻個新嘅，其實你會覺得嗰棟新嘅其實冇乜意義㗎啦。係啊，因為其實 I mean the historical buildings carry people's memories, and the memory will be lost forever if the building is destroyed. Okay, the new building cannot reactivate the memory about the past. So that's why people think that when a historic building is destroyed, the collective memory related to that building will be lost forever. Okay, now this is the destruction of the presidential palace, okay, in Haiti. So you see, there is a sign of severe damage. And what are the impacts of tsunami? And then the immediate effects, okay? Casualties and loss of property. Okay, when the tsunami waves wash ashore, the powerful force sweeps that is on the shore island, okay? And settlements, like buildings, are damaged, okay, or destroyed. And then most deaths, okay, are caused by drowning when the waves sweep ashore. Okay, so I'm going to show you the destruction of the tsunami in Japan. Okay, please wait for me. Okay. Oh. Uh. Okay, so let's see.
All across northern Japan, they felt it. A violent magnitude 9.0 earthquake on March 11, 2011. It was centered about 80 miles offshore, and tsunami warnings went up immediately. In coastal cities, people knew what to do next: run to higher ground. It's from these vantage points on hills and in tall buildings that incredible footage was captured. In Kesanuma, people retreated to a high-rise rooftop and could only watch in horror as tsunami waves inundated their city, knocking buildings into rubble and mixing into a kind of tsunami soup filled with vehicles, building parts, and contents. Seawater cascaded over sea walls and into cities. This video shows the water rushing over an 18-foot seawall into Kamaishi City. The seawall here was the world's deepest and largest, but not enough for the magnitude of the March 11 disaster. It was the largest quake ever known in Japan, and one of the 5 largest recorded in the world. More than 28,000 people are confirmed dead or missing. When 2 tectonic plates push together under the sea, the resulting earthquake sends an enormous burst of energy up through the ocean, displacing enormous quantities of water. With the upward motion, a series of waves expands in all directions. In deep water, these waves travel fast, up to 500 miles an hour, but only reach a height of a few feet. A passing ship might not even notice. But as the waves enter shallow waters, friction with the ocean floor lowers the wave's speed, but raises their height. This video is from a Japan Coast Guard ship confronting a tsunami wave in shallow water on March 11. And a rare view from the air, video of a tsunami wave approaching the shoreline. In Japan, some tsunami waves reached as far as 3 miles inland. Japan may be the most seismologically studied country in the world, and with more than 1,200 high-precision GPS stations, a geophysicist at the University of Alaska used the data to create a visualization of the March 11 quake. The waves of displacement that you see were moving as fast as 5 miles per second. In this photo, the ripples of tsunami waves are seen moving upstream in the Naka River at Hitachi-Naka City. New technology left an enormous amount of visual evidence for study in years to come, and can perhaps help us better understand the power of earthquakes and tsunamis and prevent loss of life in the future.
Okay, so you've seen the power of a tsunami. Okay, so okay, so tsunami. Okay, so this is the tsunami. Here. Okay, so here, um, so you have seen, okay, that buildings are damaged and many people died because of drowning when the waves sweep ashore. When the waves sweep ashore, and here, this is the situation. This is the time before the tsunami, and this is the time after the tsunami. So you see, most buildings have most buildings were destroyed in the tsunami because the waves sweep across the coastal area. Okay, flooding. Tsunami can bring temporary flooding, and then when the mass of seawater rushes inland, more most flooding ends, okay, in the inland area. And after the sea levels return to normal, okay? So, and then this is the devastation left by the tsunami, okay? So, this is the photo was taken after the water subsided, but you can see there was some water left in the area, and this can cause disease. How about the long-term effects? Change of coastline, okay? The coastlines may be altered, may be changed permanently. Now, these photos show what happened after a tsunami hit the coastline. So you see the water is clean, and after the tsunami, the soil pollutes the water, and you see the water here has become red, okay, because of the damage caused by the earthquake. And it can cause damage to the ecosystem too, okay? Powerful waves of tsunami may damage marine ecosystems, okay? So coral reefs may take decades, many years to recover. For example, some islands have been submerged under the sea since the tsunami in 2004 in the Indian Ocean, and these small islands are still underwater. So it means that these islands will be lost forever. Okay. So, and then a tsunami can also cause disruption to the local economy. Okay. Economic activities will be interrupted. Okay. So this will cause damage to the infrastructure such as roads, railways, and even the power plants. Okay, so now this is the aftermath caused by tsunamis. Okay, in the Indian Oceans, in Maldives. Okay, so you see, many buildings have been destroyed, and it is difficult to reconstruct the buildings to revive the local economy. Okay, so here, the tsunami can slow economic activity because tourists may not return to the areas hit by tsunamis, such as Maldives. Okay, 马尔代夫. Now here you see, after the tsunami hits the area, okay, the tourist numbers drops, and as a result, the GDP, the economy of Maldives decreased significantly in 2005, and then later it rebounded. Okay, so you see the impact of a tsunami on the local economy. Okay, so this is the tsunami in 2001, the videos that we have shown. And I'm going to show you another video about the nuclear plant, okay, caused by the tsunami. So, please wait. Okay, this is the disruption, the collapse of a nuclear power station in Japan caused by the tsunami. Okay, let's watch it.
Part, the core part is a relatively small part of the whole volume of that plant, so it could be many, many things that have actually caught fire there.
The latest we're getting from the Kyoto news agency is they say the hourly radiation at the plant matches the bang, but as you indicate, this is not necessarily Chernobyl number 2. Well, this is a different sort of structure.
I'm just reading on the wires this morning. They said there had been some small relief of two particular to bear in mind is it's very, very, we're very, very good at measuring radiation. I can't really see from
you see the sea waves blasted the nuclear power station,
destroyed, so clearly
and the nuclear power station was destroyed immediately. Okay,
well,
let's see
the
another
Tokyo
video.
Fire Department is sending what they call a hyper rescue team.
It's not actually, you can basically.
Okay, so let's look at the
hit the Pacific coast of Honshu, Daiichi.
okay,
Fukushima Daiichi is.
Let's see another video about the okay, how it smashed into the okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions. When the nuclear power station was damaged, what material will be released into the soil? What kind of dangerous materials will be released into the soil? Can anyone tell me the answer? What kind of dangerous materials will be released into the soil? What kind of dangerous, what kind of dangerous materials would be released into the soil? What kind of dangerous materials will be released into the soil? I give you a hint. This is a nuclear power plant. Nuclear power plant. 你覺得如果佢係核發電站損壞咗之後，邊啲嘢會流咗出嚟啊？核發電站。What kind of dangerous materials will be released into the soil? No answers? Jada, can you answer me? Maybe in Chinese you can. Electricity. Electricity is electricity is damaged. Okay. I tell you, radioactive materials. You know the meaning of radioactive materials? 輻射啊，輻射. So radioactive materials are very dangerous because if you are exposed to radioactive materials, you will get cancer. I repeat, you will get cancer if you are exposed to radioactive materials. 即係話咧，你會生癌症，如果你暴露一啲放射性物質太多嘅話。Okay, so the radioactive materials have been released into the soil around the nuclear power plant. So the residents have to leave their homes. Okay, so after how many years can the residents return to their homes when the radioactive materials are not active? I mean, how much time, how long does it take for the radioactive materials to go away? How many years? How long does it take for radioactive materials to go away? How long? Oh, 5 years. Very optimistic. Very optimistic. It's about at least 20 years. 20 years, because it takes a lot of time for radioactive materials to lose power, to decay. Okay, and actually, did you hear the term called Chernobyl? Chernobyl is maybe there was a nuclear plant explosion in Russia in 1986. A nuclear plant, a nuclear power station, exploded in Russia in 1986. And then, do you know how? Yeah, in water. Yeah, the materials, the radioactive materials, will be released in water, in seawater. Seawater. That's why many Hong Kong people advise you not to eat the salmon, not to eat seafood from Japan. Many Hong Kong people have advised each other not to eat seafood from Japan. Why? Because the seafood drinks, I mean the fish, the shrimps, drink the radioactive water in the sea. So if you eat the salmon, eat the fish in sushi, then the radioactive materials will enter your body. So that's why it is safe not to eat the seafood from Japan. And also, the radioactive materials take many years, okay, to decay. For example, in Russia, the area around the nuclear plant will not have any people, okay, for nearly 200 years. So if, for example, there is a nuclear plant near Hong Kong, IR1. So if that nuclear plant explodes, Shenzhen or nearby area will not be allowed, okay, to have people for maybe 50 years. Yeah. So the devastation caused by the explosion of a nuclear power plant is serious because of the radioactive materials. Okay. the radioactive materials cannot be washed away. 啲放射性物質係洗唔走嘅。Okay, it takes time for them to lose the effect. Okay. Okay, there's a Daya Bay Daya nuclear plant near Hong Kong. Yeah, so it's less than 100 kilometers away from Hong Kong. So if anything happens to the nuclear power plant in Daya Bay, the radioactive materials may drift to Hong Kong. It's a possibility. Yeah. And then Guangdong, the Guangdong province has at least 2 to 3 nuclear power plants. For example, 台山有個地方叫泰山，台山 just about 200 kilometers away from Hong Kong, 200 to 300 kilometers away from Hong Kong. There is also a nuclear plant. Actually, China is building, China has built many nuclear plants. Okay. Yeah, so that's why you can say, the Ghost City. So you can say the nuclear plant is a ticking time bomb, because nobody can make sure it will not explode in the future. Okay, yeah. So the Ghost City in Japan. Okay, so let's see the PowerPoint about the Ghost City in Japan. This is the earthquake, okay? Now you see this symbol. The symbol are nuclear plants and nuclear power stations. You see there are many nuclear power stations in Japan. So unfortunately, these 3 nuclear power stations are near the epicenter of the earthquake. So these 3 power stations were struck by the wave immediately. And for example, first of all, the airport was destroyed. And then the earthquake in 2011, okay, is very strong. It is a high magnitude. It's 9 Richter scale. And it's a shallow focus. 32 km below the ground, okay? And then social impact, heavy casualties. Many people died. More than 15,000 people died. More than 15,000. Okay, 6,000 people got injured. And then 2,600 people remained missing. And then 300,000 people have lost their homes, okay? And then temporary suspension of fresh water and electricity supplies, okay? And then the transportation network was disrupted, okay? And then public health was threatened, okay? Because nuclear accident, okay? Now this is the Fukushima power plant. And okay, the lesson is going to end. And then the water is needed to cool down the nuclear power station. And then the Japanese government will release this polluted water into the sea in 2021. Now, this polluted water is stored in many water tanks, okay, in Japan. But the water tanks will be filled up immediately. So the Japanese government will surely, okay, has decided to release the water into the sea. So I think in the next few years, don't eat any seafood from Japan because the seafood will have a lot of radioactive materials. Okay? 有冇問題？如果冇問題咧，我哋 okay. If you have no question, we will end today's lesson. Okay, so tomorrow we will have 10 And then for those of you who have not finished the test, please finish the test as soon as possible. Okay. Okay. So you can take the test in Microsoft Teams. Okay. So see you tomorrow. Bye bye.